Hi guys, this is Sai Kumar Kurtivada. In this video, we will learn about Angular 19 modal signals. So till now, we learned about two-way data binding. Two-way data binding is possible by using ngModel and creating some set of variables in our component.ts. But now we have an accessibility for this models as a signal. So by using model as a signal, we'll get more benefits compared to the rendering and zoneless approach. So we'll go completely into the signals way of doing it. So how can I do that? By using our model signals. So let me quickly jump into Visual Studio Code. So here what I'll do is I have app.component.html and app.component.ts. As we know, the ngModel works with forms data. I'll try to create some set of input fields. So let me use input and use a type as text and a placeholder as ngModel and save this. Now what I'll do is I'll try to create a signal. That means I'll go here and I'll create a signal something like first name is equal to, I want to create a signal. So I have to use a model from Angular core. So here I'll use this model where this model will also accept a type. So I'm going with a string type and I will pass the value as empty by default. So this is a default value and you have some set of options as well. Like you can change the name of it and also you can give the debug name. But for now, I think we don't need these two properties. But what I can do is I can inject this first name as an ngModel in our application. So let me use ngModel and I'm binding this first name. So it is a signal, and here whenever you are using an ngModel signal, no need to call it because we are just passing the reference of that signal. And whenever you want to display the value, then you have to call it and save this. Now we are getting some problem. Let's see. ngModel, since it is not a known property of Angular. So why it is happening? Because here if we want to consume ngModel, we have to import a module called as forms module, because without forms module I can't use ngModel, as we discussed in our previous versions of Angular. So if you really want to know about ngModel in Angular before 18 version, before introduction to signals, you can go with that. I'll provide the link in the description. Please watch that for better understanding. Now we have this model, and whenever we want to update this model or whenever we type something on this input, automatically this first name gets updated. Let me go here, and whenever I type something, you can see here I'm able to see the value. Whatever I'm typing here, the same value is replicated over here. So whenever you give an ngModel with a reference, the setter method of that particular ngModel will get updated and the value will be displayed over here. So that's how you will be using your ngModel. And now whenever I have a button and I want to update it explicitly, update name, and let me use a click event and I'll use something like update name and save this. Let me copy this update name and go here, just create the update name, and now I want to update this value. In general, whenever you want to use an instance variable, you can use this dot name is equal to some value and that automatically updates your ngModel. But here, as we are using signals, we should not update directly with the instance variable. Instead, we have to use signals methods like setter and getter methods. So let me use this dot first name dot. Either you can use update, or second thing is you can use set. So set, what it will do is it will not depend on your previous value and it will automatically update. So now what I'll do is I'll update this with math.random.of.toString because we need a string type, and save this. Now whenever user clicks on this button, a random number will be assigned to that signal. Now you can think like, why to do all this? We have a model and we are trying to create a variable and we are trying to update your ngModel, and why this is also possible even with ngModel. But try to understand one thing. ngModel, whenever you are using only with an instance variable, you cannot listen to the variable changes. For example, here there is a change in the first name that will not be listened by any subscriptions, or you cannot track that particular values until unless it is an observable as per our previous versions of Angular. Now as this is a signal, we can use these values and we can track these values by using our effect method. So let me show you that. Constructor, and inside the constructor I am creating a effect method, and this effect method is also a signal based. So whenever we are using some signals inside this effect, automatically whenever there is a change on the signal, then this effects will be called. For example, let me show you something. Console.log of this dot first name, and I'm calling this. So I'm just printing this value inside the effect. So let me use effect and comma. Save this. Now go here and go to the console. You can see here the effect has been called first time, and now whenever there is an update in this ngModel, automatically effect will be triggered. For example, I am giving 1. You can see effect 1, 2, 3, the effect 2, 1, 2, 3, and when I update by using a setter method, update name, automatically the effect has been called. So these effect values or computed properties which are provided by our signals can also applicable for our model signal. So before that, whenever you create ngModel, it is not having these all features. Now you can track the model value, you can update the model value, and also you can compute the model value by using your computed properties of signal. And also along with this, I can also use a setter method. First name dot update. We have used the setter method. Now we can use update method if your value or if your updation is dependent on the current value. For example, whatever the value I am getting, then I want to append the value plus I will use math.random.toString. So that means I'm trying to append both the values. Let me save this. That means my previous value appended with the random value. Let me go here and let me type psi and click on this. You can see you can update with the existing value. Whenever your value or the updation value dependent on this particular current value, then you can use this way of updating. That means update method instead of setter method. Setter method will directly set the value. Update method will provide you the previous value where you can update or you can perform some logic based on the previous value. This is one of the benefit from our signal based. And also, if you are going with ngModel, you have to maintain a backup variable. You will not have any previous value, but you have to maintain the backup value, and then you have to update the current value. That is not needed for our signal based models. And also, not only string formats, even you can use object formats. For example, let me make this as objects. So let me use student details equal to, I'll go with model dot or model with an object where student will have an ID which is a number. If I want to make it string type, I can do that, and name which is of string type. And here I can call this value with default value if you want, and if you don't want, you cannot give the default value. Let me give the default value as ID as 0, and let me use a name value which is equivalent to Sai Kumar and save this. Now I want to bind these student values. Let me go here and let me create a break statement, or let me go here and create a break statement and a break statement again with an input field where this input field will be an ngModel of my name. That means I can use the reference of student details. Let me copy this, put it over here, and I'm trying to call the value inside that. So I'll use dot and name. Save this. Now let me go here and you are able to see Sai Kumar. When I update this value, how can I display it? So here student details is my signal, dot name is also a type of signal. Save this. Go here and you are not able to see any value because you are calling it. Let me remove this and save this. Now go here, let me update, updated. So if you observe one thing, here we are giving the reference of a signal along with its original value. That means the nested object value. Here we are displaying in the same way. So whenever you are using an ngModel with an object, it is always like you have to give the calling of a signal along with the reference of that particular property, and the same thing will apply whenever you are displaying the value. ngModel will try to understand, okay, this is the signal, and this is the value. So whenever you update some value, it updates or use a setter method and updates this signal with this property. So that's about your signals with object values. Hope this gave you a glance about model, that is signal based model, and hope you like my explanation. If you like my video, like, share, subscribe to my channel for more updates. Signing off. Thank you.